And all you Gen X adjacents. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Before now, we've been talking about things you can actually put your hands on, but today we're going into the world of software. Specifically, we're going to be talking about DAWs, or DAWs if you want to go by that, which stands for Digital Audio Workstation. And for those of us who have home studios, but it's even in a lot of the professional studios too, this is one of the ways that we take all of these sounds from guitars to bass to whatever, and we put them all into our computer and mix them all up so that we can spit out the things that you hear as songs on Spotify or on albums or wherever it is that you listen to your music. So what you're seeing right now is my particular DAW of choice. This is made by the guys at Universal Audio. This is Luna. I have used other DAWs in the past, Nuendo at one point, Logic by Apple I used for a little while, but I came upon Luna, I guess about 2 years ago, and it's gone through some changes and updates and whatever over that amount of time. But Luna has now turned into something that, I don't know, there's just certain things about it that I almost couldn't live without, it seems like. So just to show you a couple of them, right now I'm on the mixer window, but I'm going to switch it over to the actual tracks menu. If you've ever worked in any kind of a DAW whatsoever, you've probably seen this before. Most of them, whether it's Pro Tools, Logic, whatever, are kind of laid out similarly to this. What this is, these horizontal bars, these are all of your tracks. So this is your kick drum track. This is your snare drum track. This is your bass guitar track, right? And so on each one of these, it's got different things that you can control and you can what's called automate, meaning I can set this thing to where it changes the volume or it changes this or it changes that without me even having to do anything. And that's common in a lot of DAWs. But what I like that Luna does better than anyone I've ever used is this. It's something called a warp function. Warping, what it does, let's say that you played a part and you wanted it to be directly on the beat, but it wasn't quite on the beat. Like let's say this one, which I've already moved, but let's take it out. Okay. Now let's see. Let me go with this one. So if whenever I unclick that, you can see that the wave, the actual wave file here, kind of moved a little bit, right? So whenever I originally recorded it, it wasn't directly on the beat, but I wanted it directly on this beat. This right here being the third bar, the downbeat of the third bar. Well, it was a little ahead of that, but I needed it on the beat. So what I did is you click this, which gives you a post, and then you can move this post to any one of these hash marks that you want it to. I want it directly on the beat, so I move it to there. Bam, now it's on the beat. Now, some other things about this DAW that I am really keen on. Now, most everyone you use is going to use something called plugins. Plugins are different things you use, whether it's for instrument sounds or whether it's for reverb or delay, chorus, any kind of thing that sweetens up the sound of a dry track. You usually have to do it within any other kind of DAW on what's called an insert slot. And these are the insert slots on Luna right here. You can have a maximum of 8 insert slots, and that sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. You can use all kinds, like on this one particularly, I used a whole bunch of stuff with like an EQ and compressor and another EQ and another compressor and all kinds of stuff. But what Luna gives you the advantage of doing, which is really cool, is this. This is a tape slot that is completely independent from the insert plugins. What Universal Audio has done, probably better than anyone that I'm aware of, is emulating the sounds of vintage gear that costs thousands and thousands of dollars. Like in this particular case, if you look on these two tracks, this bass bus and this bass track, I have emulations of a Studer A800 tape machine, which if you go back in the day to whenever the way we used to make recordings, you had to use actual magnetic tape. Well, that's a pain in the ass. So nobody wants to do it that way anymore, especially whenever we have this kind of functionality. But what those tape machines did is actually added a certain amount of character and warmth to the sound that you just can't get in a digital environment unless you have some guys like Universal Audio that can emulate or make your track sound like it used one of those tape machines. And in this particular case, on my bass track here, this pink bass track, I'm using an emulation of a Studer A800 tape machine. This is an extremely high-end tape machine costing thousands of dollars. The actual tangible tape machines are in all the big studios, whether it's Abbey Roads, Ocean Way, whoever it is. They use these. This emulation sounds pretty damn close. And it's totally adjustable. If you look over here to the left, I can adjust all of the, any one of the features that comes on the actual machine. They're built into here to where you can manipulate them too, including the actual noise factor. Because tape has a certain kind of crackly noise to it, you could say. And with this, you can add it in or take it out if you choose. The other tape that they have emulated that I really love is this one, and this is for all my bus tracks. This is the Ampex ATR 102. This thing just sounds so good. It adds so much warmth to any kind of a collection of tracks. Like if I have all my drums together on one track, I can add this to it and sweeten the sound up and make it sound perfect. Now, there are a lot of DAWs that have good functionality for specific tasks and for specific purposes. But to me, it seems like Universal Audio is doing their best to try and fit all of the best of all of the DAWs out there under one umbrella in Luna. They're not quite there yet, but I tell you what, keep watching Luna because this is going to end up being the DAW of the future, I believe. So anyway, that's my DAW. That's what I like using, and that's how I'm going to get the music to you on this new album coming out this year. So you guys have a good one. Catch you on the next one. Peace.